Alma, you see Xavier winding his string back up, putting the bell back in his pocket before he opens the door to see Kellic there, and you all head down and meet Flynn in the little lobby area.
Did you find breakfast, Flynn?
Yeah, I hold up the half-eaten apple. There's not much, but it's all right. And I'm reading this book here. You know much about the wastes?
Wasn't a major part of my studies.
Well, and I'll like wave him over. Like, come here, check this out. And then so in the book, well, here, and I'll pull my map.
I walk over too.
In my map. Oh, hey, hi.
Hi.
There's apples and fruits and stuff.
Thanks.
Okay, maybe you want to see this. So on my map, you see the waste,
Mm-hmm.
big desert, and then I pull the book out. And then here, it says that there was like towns and stuff there.
When was this book written?
I don't know. And I'll try and flip to the front, flip to the back, see if there's like an author or a date of anything.
Make an investigation check for me.
Okay. Regular. 'Cause that's that.
DM, can I also probe my memory for anything I would have learned about the waste in my upbringing at Addersfeld?
Make a history check.
I made a natural 20.
A natural 20.
Whoa.
Yeah.
The wonders of not having disadvantage.
Yeah, right. It's crazy.
Imagine.
This is what this is like.
History.
I'm going to wait because you might get different information depending on what he gets.
Yeah.
That is a 12 for history.
A 12. Okay. Kellic, you wouldn't really know anything specific about it. I don't think you wouldn't have any personal connection. You just know for as long as you know, it's always been like that. And for what Flynn is describing, probably it's been like that for long enough to where no one really talks about it anymore, where it's just sort of a thing.
Okay.
So you scroll through this book and you don't find it in the front, but just on the last page in the back, you see a date written there that was just about 950 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So
It's a whole book.
quite a bit of time.
Okay, like I found it. This book's old.
Holy light.
Well, that's probably why the maps are different.
Wait.
But what makes a desert take over?
Is this a orc affection? Or
No, I found it. I checked it out in the library.
and why did you check it out?
I don't know. It looked kind of interesting.
Well, if this map is to be believed, then the waste wasn't always
Yeah.
the waste?
Yeah.
Huh.
Wonder what happened and why those cities are
Not.
there.
Didn't Hayfried say something about a storm in the waste? You know, when he was working with the Redwoods?
Maybe we should ask him about it? Well, I mean, we're heading that way, right? Like, we're going back to...
Yes, but the waste is an enormous expanse.
No, I mean, like, we're going back to Hayfried, right? Because that's... We can ask him when we stop by.
We're going back to Hayfried?
I thought that was
Is that closer to...
right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is. I see here now. Okay. Yeah.
So we can just ask him...
if he knows if the waste was always...
Yeah.
Do we
Out of
know
sand?
how old Hayfried is yet?
He's pretty old.
I mean, he was like a member of the Red Wolf's crew, so like...
But that was pretty recently.
Oh, was it?
That doesn't make that better.
No, but it might not, just might not make his information that relevant to a book
Maybe.
written almost 1,000 years ago.
Maybe he read this book already. Maybe he knows just because he read about it, you know? He might have the information.
Do you think?
He knows about this storm.
The storm was what? No, the storm was what the creature in your head talked about
I can't remember.
to him. So that would be present time. A storm in the waste. Go with me here. If there used to be places, cities, towns, in the center of the continent
Right.
of Elbor, and now there's an expanse of nothing. And within that expanse of nothing, the agents of chaos that follow the order of the Red Wolf culminate. Does it stand to reason that the waste could grow?
I flipped through the book a little bit more, see if I can find anything about that, because that scares me.
Make another investigation check.
Sure. That's pretty good. Hold on. A total of 20 this time.
A total of 20.
Does it talk about does it talk about them becoming a desert, or does it talk about the cities and how elaborate they are?
Yeah, so, okay. With that, a total of 20. What pieces of information specifically do you want to know?
How this area became a desert.
Okay.
Like what turned this into a desert? Because then maybe that'll give us an idea of like how it may become bigger or anything.
Okay.
We understand how it started.
Or yeah, if there's any kind of like within the context of the book, if I can assist with this, I don't know if I can.
Yeah.
But within the context of the book, if there's any indication of like the trajectory of these cities, of like how they were sort of doing ecologically.
For sure.
It's like, what happened? Like, what happened?
What happened?
That was that right there. Total 20.
So, Flynn, you start flipping through, and once again, you're consulting your map. And looking at the waste, you begin to read a section of this book that talks about a spiritual capital of the world, like a great place of great spiritual significance, a place where the old god's presence could be felt most potently. And you see that possibly a temple, you don't know the exact structure of it, but you read of this point within what is currently the waste that was this spiritual capital of the world. And you continue to read more, and you look on the map, and you can sort of see how all of the nations, how Ganboldir, Ondale, and Kaldur, all of their borders sort of go directly into the waste. And from what you can tell, that spiritual center was at one point directly where all three of those nations came together. That single point where all three made contact with one another. That is now the center of the waste.
Did this capital have a name of any kind? That we can...
You don't get a name. No.
I'm just like my cheek is touching Flynn's as I'm looking over his shoulder.
Heads, like going to the same, like left and right at the same time. Okay, well, there's a kind of an explanation, but that happened. Does it say like when that happened? Was that still like?
This book was written, it seems, just the way that the author is speaking on these events. It seems that this was written probably just a couple years after some incident.
Okay, so okay.
Your passenger said, your crystal dweller said that there's always more chaos to be had as long as there are gods in the sky. And I just like tap on the map in the center of the waste. If the Red Wolf exists in opposition to divinity, if its primary goal is to counteract divinity,
right?
What better place to start than the supposed spiritual center of the world?
I bet you no one's going there to bother him.
A storm in the middle of the waste.
Beware the coming storm? In the middle of the waste?
We should probably get to Hayfried.
And those ruins.
Yeah.
Oh.
Alrighty.